See the difference now with Advancis Energy Vitamins. Available at leading pharmacies and Pennywise nationwide.
Time Check, brought to you by BioStrath Immune with added zinc. Distributed by H&J Enterprises Limited.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Ryan Baitshu.
I am Jassim Marik with the sport.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed with your weather report.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. Villagers demand justice after a shocking confession from close male relative in the disappearance of little Angelo.
A Cunupia family demands answers after police shoot a man they say was unarmed.
PNM slams Minister Saddam Hussein's landmark TT comments, calling them a threat to the procurement regulator.
Coming up in sport,
a coveted cricketing nation finally has the final jewel in the crown.
TNT Red Force dethrones Guyana to lift the West Indies championship title.
Flooding and extreme heat could still threaten Trinidad and Tobago despite a quieter hurricane season outlook. I've got the details in the full forecast coming up later.
A shocking confession from a close male relative blows the missing Angelo Tobias Plaza case wide open. Police confirm one of the main suspects confessed to killing the 2-year-old and throwing his body into the sea.
The development has shattered hopes in Goodwood, where residents had spent the last 8 days praying for the toddler's safe return.
The entire community is now grappling with grief and disbelief, with one village matriarch saying she was prepared to care for the child herself. Stafford Nicholas and Kwamina Payne report.
It hurt me very, very much.
Tears flowed in Goodwood today as hopes for a miracle in the disappearance of 2-year-old Angelo Tobias Plaza were dashed. Police sources confirmed the missing toddler was murdered and his body dashed into the sea. A close male relative has confessed to killing the child and disposal of the body. The suspect was brought to Cambridge Trace Goodwood this morning, where sources say he gave evidence in the child's disappearance. He was later whisked away as police cordoned off the area leading to the child's seaside home.
It has been 9 days since Angelo was reported missing, with searches beginning right here in the sea and then expanding on land to Studley Park Landfill and Pig Farm Road in Goldsboro yesterday. It appears the answers were right here all along.
As news spread about a confession, villagers gathered on Cambridge Trace demanding justice. An emotional Agnes Allen, the matriarch of Goodwood, said Angelo was a very sweet child.
But I have never seen such a thing in my life. Never, ever. It hurt me. I see my food, I can't even eat my food. When I heard that this boy confessed, it hurt me very, very much to know that little street. Why they didn't bring that child and give me? I would have adopted the child if they didn't want the child.
Goodwood villager Wendy Devines praised police for their diligent work, but said that she wants to see Angelo's body.
This day 9, and we still haven't seen her body yet. So there's nothing to rejoice about. There's nothing to feel overwhelmed about, right? I will feel overwhelmed, and when I say overwhelmed, not with joy like in a happy that the child did, but overwhelmed that a closure. We have a closure.
The Hunters Search and Rescue Team was in Goodwood today to help in the retrieval of Angelo's body.
We are here on standby with the Tobago Emergency Management Agency to conduct some operations with the police. However, there is a delay with their arrival because it is our understanding that the individual would have requested medical attention, and that is currently being attended to as we speak.
Goodwood villagers say prayers are needed for healing in Tobago and urge parents to take better care of their children. Stefan Nicholas, CNC3 News.
The relatives of a 34-year-old Cunupia man are calling for answers after he was shot and killed during a confrontation with police early this morning.
Police say they responded to reports of a home invasion at a house in Cunupia, where they allege they found Abdullah Joseph holding a gun. Officers reported that in keeping with the use of force policy, they shot him. He was pronounced dead at hospital. A pistol was seized. However, relatives are disputing the police's account and argue that Joseph regularly regularly slept on the premises with the permission of the homeowners who live abroad. They also question whether he was in possession of a gun.
He never have no gun on him. He never had nothing. All he does have is the little drugs. That's all he does have. He don't get nobody no trouble. If somebody was something to eat inside there, he just come in the garden, he just pick it and carry it for them. When they cook, they just give him a little food to eat.
Joseph's relative admitted that while he suffered with a drug problem, he was not known to be violent as he kept to himself. The relative said he was unsure who called the police as Joseph was known to sleep at the house while carrying out basic upkeep and maintenance on the lawn of the property.
Responding to the fatal shooting, Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara warned criminals that this latest incident is a reminder that the TTPS is prepared and capable of responding to anyone who wants to terrorize communities. Guevara said the police would act decisively, lawfully and without hesitation to protect life and property. And following the latest police-involved shooting, the Police Complaints Authority confirms that an investigation has been launched into the incident. The authority, in response to CNC3 News, said the availability of body-worn camera footage can assist investigators by providing an objective record of police-citizen interactions while helping to clarify disputed accounts of incidents. The body of a 35-year-old Las Lomas man who went missing on Monday was found in the Caroni River this morning, hog-tied and with chop wounds.
Relatives of Adrian Duff began searching for him on Monday evening. Duff reportedly called police on Monday and informed them he was chopped and at the Cocoa Estate in Las Lomas. After finding his burnt bike yesterday, the victim's cousin, Damian Mirage, returned today and found his relative's body trapped by bamboo roots inside the Caroni River. Mirage revealed that Adrian's brother, Kemraj Singh, was killed 6 years ago, and relatives believe the family will get justice this time around. Police suspect that Duff was killed near to where he was burned, where his bike was found, and his body later dumped in the river.
A teenager and his grandfather were beaten during a home invasion in Penal. The incident happened around 3 o'clock Monday morning at a house along Moradam Road. Police said the 17-year-old victim was outside the home when he was approached by 5 masked men, 2 armed with guns. The suspects struck him on the head, announced a robbery, and forced their way into the house. The teenager and his 63-year-old grandfather were then ordered into the front shed, tied up and beaten. The bandits later escaped with a cell phone and a boat engine. Siparia police are conducting investigations.
Still to come in the news, the country's lead climate negotiator, Kishan Kumar Singh, resigns after being barred from representing TNT.
San Juan Business Association hoping to raise $10 million to build a new fire station, warning the district is left exposed.
Coming up in sport, footballers arrested in yesterday's police exercise in St. Helena released without charge.
Welcome to the Scotia Ripple Effect. Who is Kayla Charles?
I have a very outgoing personality. I always have like people laughing in the room, smiling. I try to be as joyful as I can.
You are one of the 10 undergraduate students to receive the Scotiabank UE scholarship.
When I got this scholarship, it gave me a level of independence. I don't have to ask. Mom, I could get 100, and I really enjoyed it. So I didn't have to ask for any gym money because gym is quite expensive.
How was your flight? You came all the way from Tobago.
It was a little rough this morning, but see, I made it here.
Ace every test without studying. Why is that? Because you're already the most popular student on campus.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but...
You can't say that because that's me. I think it's really inspirational being a young woman in track and field.
I hope girls can fulfill their dreams and aspirations in any sport they decide to do.
My name is Brian Scott. I won 3 gold medals this year. Next year, look out for more.
What ripple do you want to leave behind?
A former chairman of the Office of Procurement Regulation is warning the watchdog to stay focused and do its job.
Yesterday, the Minister of Land and Legal Affairs said that the OPR has serious questions to answer as it relates to what he called its inactivity under the PNM administration.
Meanwhile, the PNM is claiming that Minister Saddam Hussein is attempting to intimidate the procurement regulator. Akash Samaru has more.
In London, Legal Affairs Minister Saddam Hussein's response to CNC3 News on the latest allegations against Landmark TT, while Minister Hussein questioned why the OPR did not operate with this same energy during the PNM's term in office, he then said very soon all information will come to light and the OPR board and regulator will have many questions to answer. Now, we tried to get a response from the procurement regulator, Beverly Khan, and the OPR board, but with no success. However, the former chairman, Munilal Lalchan, is advising Ms. Khan and the board to focus on their job. Lalchan suggested that the OPR board not be sidetracked by what is unfolding in the public domain. He's reminding them that they have an act and a framework to follow, and therefore they should continue to do so. He added, despite what is being said in the public domain from any political side, the OPR has a job to do, and he's urging them to do that job to the best of their ability. Now, while Lalchan did not want to speak specifically to Minister Hussein's comments about the OPR failing to hold the PNM's feet to the fire, he told CNC3 News that the OPR only became fully functional in 2023, after 8 years of legislative adjustments and the transitioning of hundreds of public bodies into a decentralized procurement system. Lalchan, who was chairman between 2018 and 2023, before the OPR had its full powers, was adamant that, at the time, they were not politically aligned or appointed. The OPR board and procurement regulator are appointed by the president. Lalchan said the OPR has the power to suspend a project or make the process null and void, and in some cases, an investigation could lead to criminal charges. Meanwhile, the opposition PNM is taking issue with what the party is seeing as Minister Hussein's veiled threat against the OPR. Camille Robinson-Regis said the minister's statement is deeply troubling and raises serious concerns about respect for independent institutions and due process. She said to suggest that the regulator and the board will have many questions to answer can reasonably be interpreted as an attempt to intimidate or pressure an independent regulatory body simply because it is carrying out its lawful mandate under the Procurement Act. She argued that while complaints were brought before the OPR between 2023 and 2025, they were never on the scale now facing the country because she said the former administration did not sideline the regulator. Robinson-Regis claimed the minister is using political attacks to distract from serious questions surrounding his own conduct rather than addressing concerns about transparency and accountability. Akash Samaru, CNC3 News.
In response, Minister Saddam Hussein said Robinson-Regis has no moral authority to speak on housing, citing alleged failures under the former administration and the Auditor General's findings on HDC spending. He also said Landmark TT has not been notified of any OPR complaint over the Bokaro project.
Minister Hussein said he awaits the OPR's findings to compare their actions under the PNM and the UNC, as the PNM and the OPR may have many questions of their own to answer. Meanwhile, PNM Chairman Marvin Gonzalez is calling for a forensic audit or commission of inquiry into Landmark TT. Residents living beside the proposed Bokaro housing development in Freeport say they are worried about more than just procurement controversy surrounding the project. While complaints over Landmark TT's tendering process are now before the Office of Procurement Regulation, residents say they were never formally consulted about the development despite years of work on the site. Some fear the housing project could bring increased crime into the usually quiet community, while others hope it could create much-needed jobs for unemployed youth. Residents also described years of abandoned infrastructure, including stolen hydrants, pipelines, and manhole covers from the overgrown property.
We have to be so careful now because we don't know the way how the crime situation is now. We don't know what kind of people are going to come, and in the past we had like a few incidents, with shooting and robberies and so forth here. So we have to be so careful of who come in here to stay.
Another resident, Christopher Greenwich, said despite concerns of the procurement process, employment opportunities remain the community's biggest priority. He said many young people in and around Bokaro are struggling to find work and believes construction linked to the development could help keep youths away from crime. Residents also said they spent years speculating about the project after seeing heavy equipment enter the area periodically, with little information being shared publicly.
And here it gets on the all I see is the younger generation coming once they could get the work on. Because right now, as big men think don't have. So for the younger generation, if we could supply and appreciate little work and little things to them to keep them on track instead of getting involved in the crime and this and that.
Residents say while politicians debate the legality of the process, they are still waiting to learn how the development will ultimately affect their community.
Well, on the back of those stories, we asked, do you think Minister Hussein needs to clear the air on recent hirings at Landmark TT?
And this is what you had to tell us today.
I think the minister should be clearer, and I think that I don't think that, they should give it to any and everybody, give it to, probably certified or strong people, because I believe that the citizens want their taxpayers' dollars worth.
I believe they need to be a bit more clear with what they're doing, being a lot more honest and making sure the public understands what they're doing in general.
It's very unfair for, public who are applying for these positions and everything, or are trying to get through with these contracts and they're not getting through, and then come to find out that, it's through the pipeline, family friend, or family itself getting these contracts, when it is they're not necessarily qualified for those who are qualified.
I think they're doing a good job.
I do believe that we as a country deserve transparency, because we do have a young population that wants to get into the workforce, and a lot of them, they're not being given the opportunity.
Yeah, I find so. Yeah, I find so. You should be more clear, because everybody wants to know what's going on,
Trinidad and Tobago's lead climate negotiator, Kishan Kumar Singh, has resigned his position following a decision by the Ministry of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development to bar him from representing this country.
Kumar Singh made the announcement on social media today, citing policy changes within the ministry. The now former head of the Multilateral Development Unit within the ministry says his portfolios within climate change shifted under the new government, and he had to assess whether he would continue or not.
My responsibilities in respect of climate change negotiations being removed from my portfolio and largely being sidelined in respect of climate negotiations. And you would imagine that having done this for 20, 30 years, and I dare say having done a good job from all feedback that I've gotten, that it was something that I had to assess, to digest, and to basically reflect on.
Kumar Singh added that he was never informed why his portfolios within climate change were taken away from him.
I was not offered the courtesy of a consultation or prior discussion as to why it was being removed, whether I had done something wrong, whether I had misrepresented the government or anything like that. So it was quite a mystery to me at the same time, and efforts to seek clarification were also futile.
When CNC3 News sought clarification from Planning Minister Dr. Kennedy Swartzing, we were directed to the Permanent Secretary, Sanjay Singh.
Well, we sent Mr. Singh questions and are awaiting a response. Now, the Cuban ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago is calling on the government, and by extension CARICOM, to raise their voices against what he describes as imminent threats of military aggression from the United States. At a humanitarian aid donation ceremony today, Ambassador Gustavo Vélez Olivares made a direct plea for diplomatic intervention, stating that Cuba faces a dangerous multidimensional aggression that includes tightening economic sanctions, energy blockades, and the threat of military options. The ambassador firmly rejected claims that Cuba is planning any hostile actions against the United States territory, calling the allegations a lie and emphasizing that there is no justification for the U.S. threats.
I call upon all peace-loving countries, including Trinidad and Tobago, and the wider international community, to raise their voice in defense of peace and to help prevent any escalation. Aggressions against our nation threaten the peace and stability of our nation. Today, we call once again for dialogue, respect of sovereignty, and the principle of peace and international cooperation.
Well, attempts to contact Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sobers on the matter were unsuccessful up to news time.
The San Juan Business Association is putting forward a $10 million proposal to construct a new fire station in the area. The association is warning that the district is now operating without adequate fire protection following the removal of its Eastern Main Road fire station more than a year ago, leaving one of the country's busiest commercial corridors exposed to serious risk. Association members lament that emergency response times are now dependent on stations in Santa Cruz, Morva, and Port of Spain. Association President Ibrahim Ali said at a media conference today, he said that the situation is critical and requires immediate intervention. He also said they are ready to raise the money.
Our first initiation was to find out what a fire station entails and providing the property to be built will cost in the first instance $10 million. And we are well prepared and well poised to raise that $10 million through some of our businesses that are registered with us.
Ali said the association has over 200 members and they will have the capabilities to get the construction completed. They already have in place structural plans for the fire station. The association has also identified land for the project at the Uriah Butler Highway and the Priority Bus Route intersection, which it said offers strategic access to multiple surrounding districts.
The association being very proactive in what we do. We have identified lands on the Uriah Butler intersection between the Priority Bus Route and the highway, where you have the URP, which is non-existent at this point, and that compound could be transformed into a fire station.
Responding to the association, San Juan Barataria MP Saddam Hussein said any new station must meet an 8-minute emergency response standard and comply with international requirements.
He noted the business community has offered to fund construction and the state would provide land with potential sites already discussed.
However, Hussein said key acquirement conceptual designs, funding details and fire service technical briefcase is still outstanding and the matter remains at a very early stage pending cabinet approval. Well, let's tell you what's still to come in the news tonight. Alderman Wayne Griffith awaits the outcome of probe into alleged student assault as he recovers from painful injuries.
Well, we've got quick passing showers moving across a few areas of Trinidad and Tobago this evening. What does that mean for us into tomorrow's outlook? Details right after the break.
Break out of the ordinary with Answer Bank and enjoy faster returns. With Answer Bank savings accounts, you earn interest monthly and keep what's yours. Pay no monthly maintenance fees, no point of sale fees, no ATM fees, and no digital transfer fees. Switch to a new way of banking.
KC Gingermint, your trusted and natural wellness. Now with healthier options. KC Gingermint with honey and lime. KC Gingermint with orange and KC Gingermint with lemon. KC Ginger, honey, lemon, lime, and orange. Natural and trusted for generations for soothing sore throats and digestion and boost immunity. Get your new KC Candy Gingermint extended range today and breathe naturally.
Question: how much does a funeral go for these days? I guarantee the figure you're thinking is way smaller than the actual cost. Because even though life is priceless, death is real expensive. But CUNA Caribbean's Family Indemnity Plan can help for things like sudden funeral costs, plus the other bills left behind that could threaten your finances. And imagine, for a monthly payment of less than $70, you could cover up to 9 family members. And you don't have to take a medical exam to sign up. So don't stick. Get the Family Indemnity Plan. Why? Because it's a good thing. Trust me. CUNA Caribbean Insurance. For all people. Terms and conditions apply.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from or what doors are open. To each and every one, your financial needs are sure to be met. At Police Credit Union, there's zero regrets. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile. So grow with us today. We can do this together. We can secure the future. We can secure the future.
Police Credit Union. Your future is safe with us.
Months after one of the country's newspapers closed its doors, another has informed staff that it is retrenching employees.
Today, the Trinidad Express informed the Banking, Insurance and General Workers Union, which it represents its staff, that the company is planning a restructuring exercise that would see editorial staff reduced from 33 to 26 employees. Under the restructuring plan outlined, 2 sub-editors, a night editor, and 4 reporters, 3 from Port of Spain and 1 from San Fernando, are expected to be retrenched. A meeting on the proposed restructuring was held with staff earlier today. Bigu has indicated that it intends to take action to protect workers. The announcement comes just 2 weeks after the newspaper's parent company, One Caribbean Media, reported a net profit before tax of TT $5.1 million for the 3-month period ended March 31st, 2026.
The central bank is pushing ahead with plans to modernize Trinidad and Tobago's payment systems, with officials warning the country can no longer delay digital financial reform.
Andrea Perez-Sobers has more in tonight's Business Watch.
Central Bank Governor Larry Hawaii says Trinidad and Tobago cannot wait any longer to modernize its payment systems as the bank begins public consultations on new legislation aimed at transforming the country's digital payments landscape. Speaking at the launch of consultations on the draft payment systems and services bill and regulations at the central bank on Wednesday, Hawaii notes the financial sector is rapidly evolving with new technologies and providers entering the market. He explains the legislation is intended to strengthen financial stability, encourage innovation, and expand digital payment options across the country.
I remember the recent furor around fee increases that occurred a couple of weeks ago. And a lot of it has to do with how we communicate, what we communicate, and how we explain to the general public how the changes that we are making impact them.
Deputy Governor for Monetary Operations and Policy, Dr. Dorian Noel, told Business Watch the legislation has been in development for almost 2 years with technical support from the International Monetary Fund. Noel also addressed concerns surrounding cybersecurity as the financial sector becomes increasingly digitalized.
What we have done in the last 2 years, within the last year, we have rolled out our cybersecurity guidelines for financial institutions, and we stress the importance of the management of cyber risk. We recognize technology risk is becoming an issue. How firms access the IT supply chain.
The Deputy Governor adds that the central bank believes a modern legal framework for digital payments is critical to improving efficiency, expanding access to financial services, and preparing the country's financial system for the future. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices. Andrea Perez-Sobers, CNC3 Business Watch.
It's now time for tonight's financial tip.
Money Matters, brought to you by Answer Bank.
Citizens looking to improve their finances should start by setting a clear savings goal, whether it is building an emergency fund, paying off debt, or starting a small business. Financial experts advise breaking large goals into smaller monthly targets to make saving more manageable. Setting up automatic transfers from a salary account into a savings account can also help people stay disciplined and avoid unnecessary spending. Consumers are also encouraged to compare prices, buy generic brands where possible, and avoid impulse purchases on non-essential items. Cutting back on small daily expenses can add up over time and help households build stronger financial stability.
Money Matters, brought to you by Answer Bank.
All right, Sigoni's back. Sigoni were on the road early this morning attending the wet season outlook, and we can expect an active hurricane season.
That's right, in the area of interest. So we have the big Atlantic Ocean, and then for Trinidad and Tobago, there's a sweet spot right between the west coast of Africa and Trinidad that we monitor for tropical development. So let's take a look at what came out of that forecast, because while forecasters suggest a near normal Atlantic hurricane season this year, the Met Service is warning that flooding, heat, and water shortages could still pose major threats across the country. Tonight, we focus on that area of interest, the sweet spot on your screen right now in this white box, right, where approximately 3 named storms are most likely to develop within the region between June and November, with 1 hurricane likely or considered the most likely scenario during the period. But meteorologists caution that Trinidad and Tobago does not need a direct hurricane hit to experience severe impacts, because tropical waves or even an intense rainfall event could trigger serious flooding, especially in vulnerable communities across South and North Trinidad. At the same time, the country is expected to experience hotter than normal conditions during the wet season, with temperatures possibly climbing above 34 degrees Celsius in Trinidad and even exceeding 33 degrees Celsius in Tobago during heat or hot spells. And then it is also monitoring the return of a strong El Nino. These conditions could be expected later this year, which could bring reduced rainfall and added pressure on our water supplies. So what's your role in all of this? Yes, you at home. You've got to prepare now by clearing drains, conserving water, monitoring official weather updates, and reviewing emergency plans ahead of the peak of the rainy season. Remember, wet season has already kicked off for us here in Trinidad and Tobago, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like dry season still has its grip on us, because we've got hot temperatures during the day and equally warm temperatures at night, like right now. A couple of showers in the forecast for Rio Claro and southern portions of the island, but for the remainder of Trinidad and even Tobago, we have hazy conditions, a light breeze, and a lot of warm temperatures taking us through the outlook. And tomorrow, unfortunately, it's no big change in the forecast. We have Saharan dust haze pushing well into the area, affecting not just us, but the entire island chain. And with it, we have an increase in heat as well as a lot of sunshine. So early morning showers when you wake up, that clears out. We get a lot of sunshine throughout the day as the day progresses. Maybe 1 or 2 quick passing showers, but the temperature is still packing a punch. If you want to head to the beaches and cool down, no big changes here either. We have occasionally choppy conditions within the nearshore areas, and our winds have increased just a little bit from the east-northeast to east-southeasterly directions. Other than that, no significant marine weather activity, so relatively smooth sailing if you head offshore. But again, even with all of that in the forecast, the big takeaway here, conserve water and prepare yourself for what may come in the next few months.
All right, thank you so much, Sigoni. Well, still to come in the news, Uncle Sam's in Maracas got an unusual visitor this morning, leaving workers stunned and the community rushing to guide the giant leatherback turtle back to sea.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
In every room, Vision sets the standard. For a limited time only, get your progressive transition lenses with an anti-reflective coating, designer frames, and eye exams. Starting at $16.50, only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Introducing Advancis Energy Vitamins. Advancis Energy Vitamins is designed to give you the extra push you need to power through your day. It's not just any multivitamin. Packed with more than 20 vitamins and minerals with added ginseng and reinforced prebiotics. A unique synergistic formula that you will find nowhere else. To help you experience more sustained energy, feel more alive and alert to keep you going strong all day long. See the difference now with Advancis Energy Vitamins. Available at leading pharmacies and Pennywise nationwide.
Looking for tires you can trust? Then listen up, Trinidad and Tobago.
At the Tire Club, we carry the largest tire inventory in the Caribbean. Over 10,000 tires in stock and ready to go. No matter what you drive, cars, trucks, SUVs, tractors, we've got the perfect fit for you for every road, every terrain, every job.
And we don't just stock tires, we stock quality you could depend on. Built to perform, built to last, and backed by a team that knows tires inside out. Simply put, when it comes to quality, we are second to none.
And here's the best part, free fitting and free same-day delivery. Yes, that's right. Fast professional service without the extra cost. Plus, if you're buying in bulks, we've got special deals waiting for you.
And here's what smart drivers already know. With ongoing foreign exchange challenges, tire availability could tighten and prices may increase. So it makes sense to stock up now while inventory is strong and prices is still in your favor. So whether you drive a car, van, truck, SUV or tractor, don't wait.
We're conveniently located at South Haven Shopping Center in Davie, ready to serve you.
Meet our professional tire expert, Jason and Yapton.
Give us a call at the Tire Club at 718-9300.
Jason 370-3892.
And Yapton at 735-3930.
Diabetes continues to be one of the world's biggest health challenges, affecting millions of people and changing lives every day. But doctors say with the right lifestyle choices and new technology, there's hope for better management.
In tonight's Wellness Wednesday, we look at some of the causes and how it can be avoided as well as managed.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrand. Get what you need naturally.
Diabetes has emerged as a significant global health crisis, affecting more than 537 million adults worldwide as of 2021, a number projected to rise to 643 million by 2030. This chronic condition, characterized by elevated blood glucose levels, presents in two primary forms. Dr. Chenku says type 2 diabetes is linked to lifestyle factors such as excessive food consumption along with physical inactivity.
Type 2 diabetes is very dependent on lifestyles, lifestyles, especially overweight, This it's not only eating too much sugar, it's eating any kind of food, in excessive amounts that will lead to an increase in body weight, So I may not eat sugars at all, but I'm eating all the day pasta, rice, beans, different salty food with a lot of carbohydrates. I'm not moving at all, so I don't do exercise, and I start to increase weight.
He adds that type 1 diabetes accounts for 10% of all diabetic patients and typically manifests in childhood or adolescence due to the body's inability to produce insulin.
Type 1 diabetes is autoimmune. This is the body making antibodies that will lead to the destruction of the cells in the pancreas that produce insulin, So this is mostly genetic. It doesn't have to do that much related to lifestyle interventions. This is the usually when we see young people developing diabetes, for example, kids and teenagers.
And there's also pre-diabetes, which is an indication that your health is heading in the wrong direction. But Dr. Chenku says if you've gotten this diagnosis, it's not too late to make changes.
So pre-diabetes. What it means, having pre-diabetes, is the patient will have a higher chance of developing type 2, of developing diabetes in the future, But it is also preventable by lifestyle modifications.
Now, Dr. Chenku says exercise plays a major role in preventing and managing diabetes.
It is one of the pillars. The way that exercise works is because muscle, when we exercise, muscle will consume glucose. It needs glucose as a source of energy. So the more I move, the muscle will be more sensitive to glucose. It will capture glucose and it will lower our glucose.
Additionally, technological advancements, such as continuous glucose monitoring systems, are revolutionizing diabetes management by measuring glucose levels in the interstitial fluid just beneath the skin, providing continuous real-time data throughout the day and night. Unlike traditional fingerstick glucose meters, they automatically record glucose trends and can alert users to high or low blood sugar levels. Brent Panera, CNC3 News.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrand. Get what you need naturally.
Now imagine arriving at work only to find a giant leatherback turtle inside your workplace. That unusual scene played out this morning at Maracas Bay, where a large leatherback turtle somehow ended up inside the popular Uncle Sam's.
President of the Las Cuevas Eco-Friendly Association, Tours Arlene Williams, says the turtle likely became disoriented by bright white lights in the area. The Maracas Bay community quickly came together to help the animal. Officers from the Maracas Bay police station temporarily blocked the roadway, while workers from Uncle Sam's used a tarpaulin to carefully move the turtle back onto the sand, where it made its way back into the water. While leatherback turtles are occasionally spotted at Maracas Bay, it is not a regular nesting site for the species. Williams is now calling on authorities to replace the white lights installed on lifeguard huts at Las Cuevas with red lights, warning that the bright lighting can disorient nesting turtles.
Wow, fascinating. Yes. All right, now it's time to hand you over to Jas Marique, and some might be tuned into the NBA playoffs this time of year, but according to Jassy, local hoops is also causing quite a stir.
That's right. Some of this country's top ballers have flocked to the north. We bring you the highlights from the latest in that zonal competition. And another English football club has broken a decades-long drought. Stick around. Sport is next.
Only BioStrath gives your body more than 60 of the essential nutrients it needs every day in a product that's 100% natural for stronger immunity, enhanced focus, increased energy and stamina. BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
The moment my children came into my life, I do everything I can for them to live healthy, enjoyable lives. Nature's Ways Alive Kids Gummies are multivitamin gummies meant to support the development of children's bodies. They come in delicious fruit flavors and contain natural plant-based pectin. This means that if I'm looking for an alternative to animal-based gelatin for personal reasons, they are the best choice for my little ones. Choose Alive Kids Gummies by Nature's Way for your children because they deserve it.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured. So call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago, driven by 2 silent threats, diabetes and high cholesterol. But now there's a powerful ally, introducing Berberine Plus by Asia Nutrition, clinically proven to stabilize blood sugar and keep cholesterol levels in check. With 99.9% pure extract, you get superior absorption and real results. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus. Your heart deserves better.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force captain Joshua Da Silva and company delivered this country's first regional 4-day cricket title in 20 years. In breaking the drought, the Red Force dethroned the defending champions Guyana Harpy Eagles in a 141-run victory at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium on Wednesday.
I think today will be a bit the same, where our new ball bowlers will be very crucial, get that movement. But I think that you can see with the win factor, it's moving throughout the day.
Amir Jangu predicted a favorable final day for his TNT team, which boasted a 278-run second innings lead with 2 wickets in hand. But things were not so peachy when overnight Centurion Evan Lewis gave his hand away on 122. The TNT innings was wrapped up at 267 with Anderson Phillip gone for naught. The defending champs, Guyana, set to get 281 from the better part of 3 sessions if they wanted to retain their title. That task was disturbed in the first first over, Jaden Seals collecting the wicket of Matthew Nandu. 2 overs later, Philip snuck one through the gate to get Tejnarai Chandapal. Kevlin Anderson, meanwhile, was a source of resistance, but his partners at the opposite end, including his captain Tevin Imlak, were less sturdy. Guyana 32 for 3. 2 sixes of Philip by Kimal Savory were features in a counter-attacking partnership with Anderson. Savory made it to 24 from just 14 balls before that aggression cost him his wicket. Philip with the last laugh, Guyana 61 for 4. At 79, Joshua James struck Jonathan Van Lang in front, and the score was 99 for 6 before lunch, with James also accounting for the dangerous Kimo Paul. When Seals finally got Anderson out for 41, the result TNT was pushing for grew even more likely.
Wicket finally.
This one's high, off the glove, 9 down.
Terrence Hines scooped up 3 wickets, including the last, to bring his team to this point.
It's done. It's over. The 2-decade wait is finished.
20 years since their last title, TNT finally had the trophy back.
We're gonna win it again. I have no doubt about that. The caliber players that we have, it's not gonna be 20 years before we win the next one. So, yeah.
TNT Red Force now has 6 regional 4-day titles.
Since 2006, the Red Force are.
Following that enthralling final, both captains were frank about their performances, including Guyana's Tevin Imlak.
That last wicket partnership between Jaden and Anderson Phillips was crucial. 90 runs for 11 for the 10th wicket is one that is hard to swallow. I think we were a bit complacent in that aspect of the game.
Guyana captain Tevin Imlak suggested that Jaden Seals' gutsy half-century late on day 1 might have taken the game away from the defending champs, but there was no denying that what Seals started, Evan Lewis finished with his 122 in the second innings. It came at the very end of an otherwise forgettable season, his first in whites for TNT since 2019.
Tell me how you justify your decision to come back to this format, standing here now, player of the match in a final.
To be honest, it was pretty simple. I know it was Jason Mohammed last year. He has done so much for Trinidad cricket. I wanted to be there for the final game for him, and that's why one of the main reasons why I come back.
Mohammed's retirement was previously known, but what was not known was that Lewis's match-winning knock is also his last.
I have to ask you, does Evan Lewis have aspirations to play Test cricket?
No, to be honest, this is actually my last game. I know too. Me and Jason Mohammed is actually retiring from 4-day cricket.
Meanwhile, TNT captain Joshua De Silva applauded an all-round effort for the team's success.
Previously, it might be one person or 2 people taking the mantle and putting the team on their back, but I think this year it showed a full team performance. We saw Evan didn't get much at the start of the season, but he came in the final and he actually told us the day before he's going to do it. So those are the kind of things that happen. Django was brilliant this year, 400 odd runs. Jason didn't get what he wanted, but 20 years he's been playing for Trinidad. We know the experience that he brings, put in work after work. Even back home, President, everything we want, we get. So it's about putting those things together and just getting the results for them. And this is not only for us, it's for the whole of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, the successful Red Force players will return to this country at around 4:15 p.m. tomorrow. As a follow-up to last evening's breaking story of 2 footballers' alleged involvement in a police exercise in St. Helena, word comes this evening that both men have been released without charge. Reports coming to Guardian Media say a quantity of 260 grams of marijuana was found in a duffel bag in a bedroom of the Boykato Road residence. A visitor to the home of one of the released men claimed possession of the narcotics and is expected to appear before a magistrate at the Chaguanas Magistrates Court on Thursday. The exercise was coordinated by Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations Suzette Martin, led by the head of the Special Investigations Unit, Mervyn Edwards, with support from ASP Ram Harak. KG Elite kept their perfect record when action in the North Zone Basketball Commission continued on the weekend. Carson Cupid has the highlights.
New Age Lions in the yellow knew they had a daunting task coming up against the undefeated KG Elite in the black playing in the North Zone Commission's Lincoln Cripple Griffith 2nd Division. From the tip, KG showed they meant business with an easy trip to the hole. New Age Denzel Skeet was big in the paint for 2 of his 10 on the night. Lawrence Craig responded with a quick Euro step. They were running the same play as Craig was in the mood. For the 21-9 lead, he had 10 on the night. From there, KG Elite started to put on the style. Look at the ball movement all the way to Christian Farnham to drill the three-pointer. Farnham again, this time he settled for the layup on the break. He had a game-high 26 points. Daniel got in on the action with a bit of showboating to sprinkle on top of his three. Daniel again for the alley. He almost had it. That would have brought the house down. KG Elite stormed to a 91-48 final victory by 43 points. Custom Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
In regional news, Barbados gears up to jumpstart the rally season, while schoolboys Caribbean boxing is on the cards in Guyana.
Bushy Park in St. Philip in Barbados will come alive this weekend when over 120 rally cars and their drivers compete in one of the largest rally events in the Caribbean. Motorsport fans and their families are in for a real treat at Saturday's Auto One Rally Show, now in its 5th year. Sunday's King of the Hill and BCIC Rally Barbados the following weekend will include 16 drivers from overseas that will race on the island for the first time. The event, which runs from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., will offer the unique opportunity for patrons to meet the participating drivers and teams, along with the opportunity to view the cars up close and personal. The 2026 Winfield Brathwaite Caribbean Schoolboys and Juniors Boxing Championships is already drawing strong regional interest, with at least 10 countries expected to compete in Guyana from August 20th to the 22nd. According to Steve Ninival, Trinidad and Tobago and a couple newcomers from Curacao are expected to raise the competition level, while Jamaica could return after years away. The tournament has produced top regional talent, including Kevon Alicock and Abiola Jackman. This year, English-based boxer Bradley Khan is among the new fighters set to represent Guyana as the hosts aim to defend their regional title. Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
Now to some boxing news. One verbal tussle has the potential to lead to blows, as over the past couple of weeks, speculation has been swirling about the matchup between Tiana Guy and Chantal Adams. A decade after their first match, the rematch has been made a bit saucy, jumping from the ring to the internet. Veteran matchmaker Boxu Potts has accused the guy of running from the fight. In reply, the Olympic hopeful recently threw down the gauntlet and is offering a $30,000 prize purse for that fight, which is set to take place in December.
It is crazy to me that I am being accused of running from somebody that I offered to fight over 5 times. So here's what I propose. Let us fight December 19th. I am offering you $30,000. I said it publicly, not 8,000, not 10,000, not 15,000, $30,000 to fight. As a matter of fact, when you sign the contract, you're getting $10,000 up front. I am offering you a WIBA America's Belt title. So let's
certainly heating up between Tiana Guy and Chantal Adams, and it's something we'll be keeping tabs on as it progresses. To our Sport High now, Aston Villa beat Freiburg 3-0 today and were crowned the UEFA Europa League champions in Istanbul, Turkey. Their first major European title in 44 years, and get this, a 5th Europa League title for their head coach Unai Emery. It was inspired by 2 insane finishes.
Aston Villa's Yuri Tillemans had the place in a frenzy. When he latched onto this cross, he caught it sweetly on the laces and surely thought he had a high. But 8 minutes later, Emiliano Buendia took it away. Yes, perfect coordinates. So Buendia, for bending it like Beckham, you earn tonight's CNC3 Sport High.
All right, thank you so much, Jassy. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Living with diabetic neuropathy is exhausting. The burning pain and tingling that won't go away? Introducing Myolaxin D Gel, made for pain relief. Fast absorbing, non-greasy, and easy to apply. Its Carbomer gel formula delivers relief deep at the nerve level. Oleoresin capsicum helps reduce pain signals, while diclofenac eases inflammation. Menthol and camphor provide fast, soothing comfort, so the pain eases and comfort returns. Size doesn't matter. This 15-gram tube gives you maximum relief. Myolaxin D Gel, available at pharmacies nationwide.
Let's take a look at developments across the region.
The Bahamian Office of the Prime Minister is vowing to hold wrongdoers accountable after a U.S. criminal complaint alleged massive cocaine smuggling took place with the help of local officials. The charges stem from a plane crash last week involving Jonathan Eric Gardner. Federal investigators claim Gardner was mounting smuggling operations protected by police and unnamed politicians and was rescued with $30,000 linked to that lawmaker. PAHO and Google have signed a 5-year agreement to expand reliable health information across the Americas and the Caribbean. The partnership will merge PAHO's public health expertise with Google's digital platforms, including YouTube, to deliver verified science-based facts and combat online misinformation. Federal prosecutors unsealed criminal charges against former Cuban President Raul Castro tied to the 1996 shoot-down of 2 civilian aircraft. Castro, Cuban defense minister at the time, is charged with conspiracy to kill U.S. nationals, murder, and destruction of an aircraft. The attack killed 4 men, including 3 Americans, when Cuban fighter jets shot down planes operated by the exile group Brothers to the Rescue. The brother of Fidel Castro is now 94 years old and one of the last surviving leaders of the Cuban Revolution.
And internationally, too much screen time for kids and teens has become a public health concern.
That's according to a new Surgeon General's advisory released on Wednesday. That screen time includes social media scrolling, non-stop texting, and hours spent playing video games. The advisory warns of several negative effects. Those include lack of quality sleep, decreased functioning at school, less physical activity, and weaker in-person relationships. The advisory's recommendations: no screen time at all for babies under 18 months, less than an hour per day for kids up to age 6, and only 2 hours per day for kids 6 to 18. An associate professor of medical social science at Northwestern University cautions not all screen time for kids is bad. She suggests how they're engaging with screens and the context is important. Officials from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services collaborated on the release.
It's now time for another short break. Stay with us right here on CNC3.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Get the story first. Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today.
Port of Spain City Corporation Alderman Wayne Griffith says he's awaiting the outcome of investigations by school officials and police into an alleged assault on him by students of Tranquility Government Secondary. Griffith was attacked 2 weeks ago while trying to break up a fight among the children. 5 students have since been suspended, and police are continuing their probe. Griffith told CNC3 News he expects a case conference with the principal and the Ministry of Education to decide on disciplinary action, including possible suspension or expulsion. He noted viral footage does not show the full incident. Griffith said he is still recovering from injuries, including significant pain and a ruptured tendon.
It's time now to recap our headlines. Villagers demand justice after a shocking confession in the disappearance of little Angelo Tobias Plaza.
A Cunupia family demands answers after police shoot a man they say was unarmed.
In sport, TNT Red Force dethrones Guyana to lift their first West Indies Championship title in 20 years.
And it's repeat weather. Clouds and hazy sunshine battle it out with a couple of showers at times.
As we leave you, let's remind you to stay connected with us on our social media platforms.
There you'll find tonight's stories, the latest updates, and exclusive content. And don't forget to pick up a copy of the TNT Guardian newspaper.
We've come to the end of the 7 p.m. news on CNC3. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ria Rambley.
I'm Ryan Beachu.
I am Jassi Marik.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed. Have a good night.
You're watching CNC3.
Please, make some room. All right, clear out. Thank you.